My first Cameos video focused more on stuntman appearances or famous faces who have popped up in roles across the years in Bond films, but it lost sight of the true meaning of a cameo. In this video, I right that wrong, as well as including lots of other cameos that viewers of the original video have pointed out. To make this a comprehensive video, I include some of those from the previous video as well. First things first, I did not include the apparent Ian Fleming cameo in From Russia with Love, as it is very much disputed, and personally it's not something I think is true. Yes, there is an image of him on the Istanbul set next to the train, in similar clothes to that of the person who appears in the film, but they look nothing like Fleming. Famous, or soon-to-be famous faces pop up all the time in Bond films, but the following are clearly intended as cameos. Alfie Bass appears in Moonraker as a coughing and spluttering Italian local who looks on in disbelief as Bond passes by in the gondola. Madonna appears as a fencing instructor called Verity, and show jumper Oliver Skeet appears as a Blades concierge in Die Another Day. Supermodel Alessandra Ambrosio gives Bond the eye as she passes by in Casino Royale, and Virgin Group founder Richard Branson also makes an appearance in Craig's first outing, being frisked at airport security, although you won't have seen this scene on any British Airways flight, having been cut out of the in-flight movie. Michael Billington plays the lover of Agent XXX, who gets gunned down by Bond in the pre-title sequence. Although you could argue he's just another actor being played to play a role, his appearance is noteworthy, as he was in the running to play Bond when Moore threatened to step away from the role. Quantum of Solace features some vocal cameos from Mexican directors Guillermo del Toro and Alfonso Cuarón. Cuarón can be heard as the voice of the fighter jet pilot trying to shoot down Bond's plane, and Del Toro supposedly voices one of the Bolivian police force, but I haven't been able to find where in the film this occurs. For US fans, CNN's Wolf Blitzer is reporting on the MI6 blast that prompts Bond to return to London, whereas UK fans get a familiar face in the form of Hugh Edwards, well known for the evening news on the BBC, who reports on MI6 agents being uncovered and killed. And this stretches the definition of a famous face, but one of the car clampers who gets drenched by the Q-boat in The World's Not Enough is Ray Brown, someone disliked in the UK at the time for his appearance in the docuseries Clampers. They were told they were only going to get a little bit wet in this scene, and were not expecting the soaking that they ended up receiving, so their reactions and the line, "What was that?" are entirely genuine. And not so much a famous face as opposed to someone who looks like one, actual Daniel Craig lookalike Steve Wright can be seen in the corridor as Bond enters Mitchell's apartment, with Bond even giving him the eye as he walks by. Several of the crew pop up in cameo roles. Peter Hunt, director of On Her Majesty's Secret Service, is the most obscure of these, appearing as a reflection in the Universal Export sign. Kevin McClory, the infamous producer of Thunderball, who launched his own remake Never Say Never Again years later, can be seen reclining in the hotel foyer. Production designer Ken Adam, director Lewis Gilbert and producer Cubby Broccoli pop up in St Mark's Square in Moonraker in a blink-and-you'll-miss-it appearance. John Barry pops up in the fitting role of an orchestral conductor in The Living Daylights, with Barbara Broccoli supposedly in the crowd somewhere. Phil Mayhew, cinematographer on Casino Royale, makes an appearance in M's office as a Treasury bureaucrat. Director Martin Campbell has cameoed in both of his Bond films, appearing as an unlucky cyclist who gets caught up in Bond and Onatop's dangerous road race, and then as an even more unlucky airport worker who gets his neck broken by Carlos at Miami Airport. Also in GoldenEye, the stunt performer who carried out the amazing damn bungee jump at the start of the film, Wayne Michaels, pops up as one of the ill-fated Tiger helicopter pilots who thinks he's gone to heaven. There are also a couple of cameos from those who played minor roles in the past. I'll be releasing a video that covers those who make repeat appearances in the future, but I feel the following are more classified as cameos. First up, Zai Chin, who was first seen apparently betraying Bond by trapping him in a fold-up bed and contributing to his supposed death in You Only Live Twice, returns in Casino Royale as Madame Wu, a card player who's seen playing cards on Le Chiffre's boat, and later makes up one of the players at Casino Royale. A bit more unnoticed is the second appearance of Diane Hartford, who was first plucked from the bar in Thunderball to dance with Bond while he's trying to hide from Fiona, and then appears as another card player in Casino Royale, this time in the Ocean Club where Bond wins the DB5 from Demetrius. The films are also littered with brief appearances from family members of Bond cast and crew. Serial cameo maker Michael G. Wilson, whose appearances I've covered in a separate video, pops up in The Living Daylights alongside his wife Jane. And his mum, Dana Broccoli, also appears on screen in a couple of Bond films, including Moonraker, but I can't find her appearances. Wilson's son Greg has started to follow in his father's footsteps, with appearances in Skyfall and Spectre. Richard Keel's son, Richard, is the young child who points at the Lotus Esprit as it surfaces on the beach in The Spy Who Loved Me. Lois Maxwell's daughter Melinda shows up as one of Drax's girls in Moonraker, but there's some discrepancy over who she is. Pedro Amenderes Jr., son of From Russia with Love's Pedro Amenderes, appears in License to Kill as President Lopez. Eunice Gayson, famed for being the first on-screen Bond girl, saw her daughter Kate show up in the casino scene in GoldenEye. You'll have to know where to look for this very brief appearance, but it even led to Kate featuring in the trading card collection. Roger Moore's daughter, Deborah, serves Bond a martini on his flight to London. Finally, there are a few portrait cameos that appear. Bernard Lee's M shows up in picture form in both The World's Not Enough and No Time to Die, and Robert Brown's M also shows up in the latter. Alongside her brief on-screen cameo and photo appearance in Spectre, Judi Dench's M also shows up in the same corridor as the previous M's in the new film. And last but not least, Francisco Goya's portrait of the Duke of Wellington shows up in Dr. No's lair. Its appearance is notable due to the fact that it was stolen in 1961, so it makes it look like Dr. No is the mastermind behind its disappearance. Ken Adams' prop painting was used in the promotion of the film and was later stolen itself. You can now see the original in the National Gallery. There may be more appearances that you might classify as cameos, but are more actors going about their trade in a paid on-screen performance. I'll soon be releasing a video that details the actors who have made numerous appearances in the Bond films in different roles, as well as documenting the appearances of famous or soon-to-be famous faces.